Now, I know in these news videos, you've seen him a lot in the background, and looking at the comments, there is just so much pressure to see more and more of him. And I know Adam showed you his on the stream over the weekend as well, so it's only fair. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, there you go. Oh, what a good boy. What a good, simple two-ply boy you are. Oh. Ow. Here's some headlines. Which former WWE champion is cleared to return to action? We have the reason WWE are returning to taped shows. We'll get to that in a second. And which WWE star pitched the Otis and Mandy storyline? Find out in a little bit. We start with, do you want to get down? Do you want to get down? All right, we'll pop you down. Go play with the kettle. We start with a member of 3MB who is itching to get back in the WWE ring. No, it's not that one on this particular occasion. We talked lots about him last week, but this is Jinder Mahal. Now, we did a news story just before Christmas about Jinder Mahal set to return, and that hasn't happened. I'll tell you how long ago this story was. The talk was that Jinder Mahal would resurface in the Royal Rumble, and he hasn't. We do have an update on Jinder Mahal. WrestlingRumors.net actually reached out to him because all these people got laid off, furloughed, released last week. Basically, WrestlingRumors.net rang Jinder Mahal and went, "You all right, mate? Everything good with you? Anything we need to know?" Turns out Jinder Mahal is reporting that he is ready to return. It was expected, as we say, that he was going to come back at the Rumble. That didn't happen. And we're still waiting on him to come back, and he says he's ready to go. They're just waiting for a moment to slot him in. We last saw him was in the 51-man Battle Royal at Super Showdown 2019. Popped up in that big old thing there, but then nothing after that. So he was flown out to Saudi Arabia to be a part of that match, and then nothing. So we know he's ready. He's now ready to go. He had an injury. He's all recovered. We just don't know when we'll see him. And it's a one to think about for when Jinder Mahal comes back, as to what he will do in the company. I don't. Is it too insider to do a kind of revenge for Heath Slater thing? Probably is. And is it required or wanted or desired in any way that we see a battle between three-man band members for the WWE title? Drew and Jinder? I mean, it's a storyline thing. I can't imagine it would move the needle in any way, shape or form. But Jinder Mahal being reported ready to return to action in WWE, and no idea when, because we were projected the Rumble. I don't know. WWE's taping schedule has been all over the shop in the last couple of weeks. So let's go back a few weeks ago where Vince McMahon got everybody together. They were going to tape a whole bank of TV in the same place at the same day. And just kind of as they were getting underway, Vince said, actually, no, I've changed my mind. I want live Raw, SmackDown and NXT going forward. So it was the case of everybody suddenly realised instead of going to do one day of taping and then taking a couple of weeks off, they'd be asked to come back the next week, week after, the week after, the week after. So that was uneasy for quite a few people. Vince changed his mind again over the last couple of days, and it's been revealed now that WWE are going to be going back to a taping schedule. The way this taping schedule seems to look, I've seen a couple of different reports based around it, but it looks as if they're just going to do it all on a Monday. So everyone's going to get flown in to the Performance Center on a Monday, and they're going to tape Raw, SmackDown and NXT over the Monday and the Tuesday, and then they've got the rest of the week to themselves, and then back on the Monday, rinse, repeat. So why has this changed so frantically? This all comes down to Vince McMahon, who there was concern from Vince that if he wasn't putting on live TV for the networks he works for, that they were going to sort of do him wrong on the money. Because obviously the big thing at the moment for WWE, a big part of their money making, is these phenomenal TV deals with companies like Fox that they have struck. And there is concern that Fox and USA may cut some of that money back if they end up doing taped shows. Now, from what I can tell, Vince never asked them directly if this was the case, because it's obviously come out through a lot of people asking them about it, that they have said, Fox and the USA have said to WWE, look, these are extraordinary times. And as long as we are getting first run WWE programming, we're not bothered about it being live. So I think Vince was concerned that because it wasn't live, they wouldn't get all the money from the deal. But they've gone, mate, just let us play it first time, and that's all we're bothered about. So the system changed again, and now, as I say, they're going to be taping everything on the Monday by the looks of things. This is one of those systems that benefits the company in a lot of ways. Obviously, financially, it benefits them because they're not going to be flying wrestlers out 3 or 4 times a week, so they'll just be flying them once out a week, presumably. So that benefits them quite a lot, money-wise. So this works well for them, and it keeps programming fresh. There is a concern that they don't want to just do like a bank of recordings and have things change, but these are weird times. Surely you'd be all right. It's not my train set, is it? It's Vince McMahon's. A few WWE staff and wrestlers are opting to stay in Florida during the pandemic as a result of this. Because it looks as if they're going to be going back and forth a lot. They don't want to risk getting themselves ill or spending too long in public places, so they're holding up in Florida during this time. There's only a couple of them doing that because the majority of people that work for WWE, particularly like NXT guys, already live in Florida. So it's not a massive change to their lifestyle for them, but a few of them have opted to do that. I do feel for guys like Daniel Bryan, who was self-isolating in a hotel after WrestleMania was finished airing, so he could make sure he wouldn't bring anything home to his wife and his family. And now he's at a point where he will be required every Monday to go to the performance center. So goodness knows how long it'll be until like his normality gets back to normal. But that's the case with a lot of people as well. So we're going to see taped episodes of everything, blocks of tapings on the Monday and the Tuesday. The taping schedule's all over the place at the moment. Apparently they've already filmed the majority of Money in the Bank, which if you don't know what's happening with that, watch Adam's news video from the weekend, from Saturday, and wow, this is the first time I've actually got to talk to you about it. A fight through a corporate building, like a reverse Die Hard. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. I want to give a mention to 2 bits that came out over the weekend about 2 of the released WWE stars, starting with Heath Slater. He released a t-shirt. I've ordered one. I wanted one. Just says I got fired on it. Mwah. Chef's kiss to you, Heath Slater. But somebody shared a promo that Heath Slater did on SmackDown after he was undrafted, after he was left not drafted a couple of years ago. And it was just this fiery Heath Slater promo. MVP quote retweeted this and said the following: I was in WWE Developmental with Heath. He came in for Deep South TV for free. He literally worked his way into a developmental contract. He told me he couldn't cut promos. We talked about it. I told him he had a huge personality. Bring that to the mic. Practice. He did. Oh baby, he ends the tweet with. But the interesting thing there is how Heath Slater got a job in the first place by just grafting. Went in, didn't take any money from the company until he got a contract. Something to be said for the work ethic of a guy like Heath Slater, who, when the time is ready, he will be an absolute star again. I'm ready for him to get beefed up and look like a wrestler from WWE All Stars on the PS3, was it? I'm ready for him to look beefed up and return to win the WWE title. That'll be an exciting day. Curt Hawkins was another guy that was let go. Curt Hawkins' wife took to social media to talk about her husband and the day they found out. And it's quite a moving post that she left. She goes, on Wednesday, April the 15th, Bryan was released from his WWE contract. There was notice that layoffs would begin, and our anxiety kicked into full gear. Not just for ourselves, but for friends and loved ones that could potentially happen to. Bryan just needed to know if it was happening to him or not, and I was praying the phone didn't ring. Well, the phone rang and I broke down. 1 week prior, they had wanted him to fly to Orlando to film for Raw. The next week, they're getting rid of people. I went from being scared of my husband coming home from work with the virus to days later, him getting fired. The one thing I can say, I'm so proud of how he held it together. The first time this happened, it was almost a matter of when. This time, it was just out of nowhere. And given the current state of the world, since he can't wrestle anywhere right now, he did exactly what he needed to do to help himself cleanse of the past 4 years. Basically, getting rid of everything he was holding on to. He also guided other wrestlers that had never been through this before of what they needed to do next to set themselves up for success. Basically, anything that would make me cry in the past few days, from making me proud to me being sad, to even watching him still be a full-time dad on the day that it could have been a very dark one. He handles everything with grace, which just reassures me that he will be okay. I feel so lucky to be his wife. Class act, Curt Hawkins. And Bobby Lashley, but not Bobby. What do you want? You want to come up now? You've had food and you want to come up? Fine. Right. Bobby Lashley, but not Bobby Lashley. Mandy and Otis. The storyline that captured our hearts and minds around WrestleMania time. It's come to light today as to the origin of that particular storyline and who pitched it. And it was actually pitched by Mandy Rose, which was a very pleasant surprise. I would have assumed this would have been something that somebody had gone to Mandy about, but it was Mandy that actually pitched it. She talked about it on Hub, which is a TV series from off of America. I know all about Hub. Mandy Rose said, Otis always was around in NXT and posting pictures of me and talking about how much he liked me. In a cute way, not a creepy way. This continued on, and I thought it'd be great if this became a storyline, especially once Otis entered WrestleMania. I actually went to Vince McMahon myself and pitched the idea, and Vince loved it. That's a surprise. That's another surprise in this story, that Vince McMahon was au fait with Otis getting the girl at the end, because historically, like, that wouldn't have flown in WWE. Someone like Otis getting the girl, I'm chuffed he did. Honestly, the reaction around the world of the boyhood dream coming true was fabulous. It's sad that one of the writers, Andrea Listenberger, who was one of those people that brought that to life, was let go from the company, possibly furloughed as a result of the layoffs last week. But to Andrea, to Mandy, to Otis, we cannot thank you enough for bringing that story in such a weird time on the planet. It's nice that a story like that captured our hearts and distracted us so much. Sometimes, love is all you need. Stay safe. Love you, bye. Do you want some bread? Do you want some bread? Yes, you want some bread. Don't burn it like last time, okay? Oh, I love you.